Okay, so we have to learn how to balance chemical equations. Basically, a chemical equation tells us what's going to happen to compounds when they either join together and create new compounds or split apart and create new compounds. Chemical reactions always conserve mass. What that means is every atom in the reactants are what we begin with, needs to become a product. The product is what the chemical reaction produces. So, if we take a look at a generic chemical equation, we've got A plus B2. These are the reactants. These are what we start out with. AB is the product. Now, every atom in the reactants has to become part of the product. So, right now, if we were to just use dots to represent the atoms, we've got 1A, 1A. Hey, great. Every A becomes part of the product. Every A in the reactant ends up as part of the product. B2 means we've got two B's. Uh-oh, we've only got one B over on this side. So we have to do something to make two B's on this side. To do that, we're going to put a coefficient in front. Basically, this is a number that says I'm going to multiply AB by 2. So now instead of having 1A, I've got 2. Instead of having 1B, I've got 2 B's. So now my B's are equal on either side, but my A's aren't. So I've got to go and put another 2 here in order to balance this equation. Now I have a balanced equation. 2 A's as a reactant and a product, 2 B's as a reactant and a product. So that's just a generic chemical equation. This is an actual chemical equation. We've got lithium oxide plus water becomes lithium hydroxide. So let's figure out how to balance this one. So we've got 2 lithium here, 1 here. Oh, that's a good place to start, probably. We've got an oxygen and an oxygen here. So I've got 2 oxygens as my reactants, 1 in my products. And then I've got 2 hydrogen here and only 1 in my products. So real quick, I've got 2 lithium, 1 lithium, 2 oxygen, 1 oxygen, 2 hydrogen, 1 hydrogen. This is a fairly simple one. All we need to do is add a 2 here to multiply all these by 2. So instead of producing 1 lithium hydroxide atom or molecule, we're going to produce 2. And now we have our 2 lithium, 2 lithium, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen. Okay, so that's what a simple one's like. Here's one that's a bit harder. So here I have NH3, which is ammonia, plus oxygen, gives me nitrogen, plus water. Okay, well, I've got 1 nitrogen, 2 nitrogens. So right away, I know I need to put a 2 coefficient in front here. And now, let's see what happens to the rest of the... So, now with that 2 coefficient there, I've got 2 nitrogens. But I've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hydrogens, because it's 2 times 3 gets me 6 hydrogens. So I've got 2 oxygen. Now on this side, I've got 6 here, 2 here. I'm going to have to multiply this through by 3. Okay. So I've got 3H2 gives me 6 hydrogen. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 3 times O, so that's just going to give me 3. And I'm not balanced. I've got 2 oxygen here, 3 oxygen here. That's bad. So, let's see. What can I do to make things right? Well, if I had, instead of just 1 oxygen here, maybe if I had some more oxygen, I could do something else. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply my oxygen. Since I need 3 here, it would be best to multiply this by 3. So I can get 6. And then I'm going to multiply this coefficient here by 2. So I get 6 here. So now I've got 6 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, great. Except now instead of having 6 hydrogen, now I've got 12 hydrogen over here. And that's unfortunate because now I need to get 12 hydrogen here. So I have to multiply this coefficient as well by 2. So I go from 2 to 4. That is the worst marker ever. Okay, so I've got 4 now. So 4 times 3 gets me 12. And all's right in the world, except for the fact that now I have 4 nitrogen. So there we are, 4 nitrogen. So that means I need yet another coefficient, one last coefficient, right here, to get me 2N2, and there we go. That's how we balance chemical equations. You just have to make sure that both sides are balanced. There's some trial and error involved. I would suggest writing it down. If drawing the dots helps you, then you got to do that. You're going to have room to do that on the test. You're going to have room to do that on the final. So you might as well, if that is something that's going to help you, you might as well start using it now.